Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Iamtongue, and today I want to show you my thought process on my editing of this photo right here. This was shot at the snowstorm portrait session. If you guys haven't watched that video, it's right here somewhere. I have a few of you guys on Facebook and on YouTube asking me like the process of it. For time's sake, I'm just gonna speed through it and I'm just gonna show you the important stuff of what I did to get there. So that includes the color grading and like the masking. So this is the before picture right here. We got this right here, right? So what I did was the basic adjustment. You can see right here. This is all I really did, nothing special. And then afterwards I added in a curves adjustment, and this is just to give it a little bit of contrast and give it a little bit more pop. And from here, this is my color grading. I did this as a color grade. I added blues into the shadows, and this is what it looks like without it. So you can see the red comes back without it on, so I just had to balance it out and give it that blue cool shadows, because I see a lot of TV shows and films that I enjoy do this type of grade. So whenever I get the chance, I try to do the same with my image. Without the color grading turned on, you can see that her face just gets really lost in the background. So with the color grading on, my goal was to just make her face come out a little bit more and not get so blended in with the background. So with all the grading done, like you can see that her face just pops out a little bit more, gives it a little more depth into her face. And then this is where I want to show you like a cool feature that Lightroom just updated. It's really cool. I think it's like the most powerful thing that has come to Lightroom so far, and that is the select subject tool. So when you go in here, add, and then you select subject, like Lightroom does a really good job at selecting the subject, just mask it perfectly. Usually you have to do this in Photoshop, and then you have to be the one to like brush it in and mask everything out, and that just takes so long to do, and it's such a time consuming thing to do, and I hate doing that. So Lightroom just made it a lot easier, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. I selected my subject and I inverted it so that it selects the entire background. And this is where you can use your artistic liberties to, you know, just go crazy with the colors, right? So that's what I did. I selected the subject, I inverted so that the model, like it selects everything else besides the model, and I just played around with the colors. All right, so you can see here, like I warmed it up a little bit, right? Whoops. So this is before and this is after, just so that it gives it a little teal color. And then afterwards, I play with the hue settings right here, and this is where you can go crazy with the colors. And that's what I did. I just adjusted to taste, and I got the colors that I want out of it, which is this. And then I brought down the exposure a little bit. You can see here, I brought it down by 0.07, and this is so that the subject could pop out more. And this is a trick that I always do with my portraits. If you want to give it a 3D look, I would recommend that you select the background and just darken it just a little bit, and then afterwards you go onto your subject and then you raise the exposure, which I did right here. I put it in the negative for exposure, and then once I go to the subject on this side, you can see that I raised my exposure a little bit, and that's where you're going to get that 3D pop look that so many people have asked me how I did this. This is how you do it. It's a lot easier now with this masking tool in Lightroom. I think it's like the best thing ever. They made it so much easier, so it's just, there's like no excuses guys. So use this feature, okay? Once I get to her, the model, I play with I played with the balancing of this, of the temperature and the tint. Before, this is what it looks like before, and you can see that the colors don't really sit well. It doesn't interact well with the background. So what I did was I just pulled the tint all the way to the left, and then pulled the temperature all the way mostly to the right. And this gives you like some sort of like, it gives you a balance, and it just blends well with the colors. It interacts with the colors a lot better than where it was at originally, which is here. And afterwards, I played with the hues a little bit just to get the colors right a little. Again, this is all just artistic liberties, and then just adjusting it to when you feel it looks right in your eyes. And that's where that happens. And after that, you know, I chose Provia Standard as my film simulation. Usually I work with Classic Chrome a lot, but I felt in this instance, Classic Chrome just seems too contrasty for me, especially in the darker areas. I feel it just didn't look right. So I put it into standard so that the colors get a little bit lifted. It just pops more, and I like that about the Provia film simulation. It's more vibrant, and that's one of the things that I really like about this film simulation. And after that, you go down, you do your sharpening, and then here, the color calibration. This is what I did. I just pulled it around so it looks good. So this is what it looks like before. It still looks good. I think the original looks good, but I wanted that teal look. I like that cyan look. I like my blues to be a little bit teal, and my greens to be a little bit teal as well. So this is what it came out to look like. Afterwards, I would bring this into the skin retouching, and then I would add some more final touches to it, and then it should look something like this afterwards, right? So with this edit, I extended 2 sides so that it fits for an Instagram crop. Another thing I did was, if you look at my masking right here, I added 2 gradients, one on the top left corner and one on the bottom right, and I darkened it. I darkened both gradients so that it's just like a streak of light just hitting this part right here, which is pretty cool. I say it just gives it a cool look that I like. Again, this is artistic liberties. You may find it to be wrong, but I don't know, I just like it. You darken this side, and then you darken the bottom side. It's the same thing where you darken the background, and then you leave the part that you want in focus to stand out more. And afterwards, I would again select the subject and then just boost it up by 0.1 exposure, just because of the radial filter that I had on. It seemed like it was messing with the exposure on her face, so I just boost that to just compensate for the loss in that radial filter. And I think that's about it, guys. That's my thought process on this photo. If you can take one thing away from this video is in order to get more of a separation from your subject, just again darken the background and then lighten the subject with the mask that I just showed you in this video. And then from there you can just go crazy and then just play around with the temperature, the tint, to get the colors that you want. And now there's this cool feature right here where you can actually select your subject and then just play around with the hues, and then you can get some cool, interesting colors as well. There you have it. That's my thought process on this photo. I really like this photo. I'm so happy of how it turned out because if you look at it, this one, if you take a look at the before and after, that's like such a drastic change. I've done all the heavy lifting on Lightroom too. So if you guys aren't really big on Photoshop, just know that I've done everything in Lightroom. And then the most that I've done in Photoshop is just the skin retouching and just some minor curves adjustment. But other than that, that's it, man. That's all I did. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, give me a like. Let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. That's where you're going to see a lot more of my work. And once again, my name is Tongue, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Okay, bye.